hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. And if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Yo, what is up, people? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the Wednesday, October 30th. We're almost at the end of October. Tomorrow we got the final day, the Halloween day coming up. Something spooky to end the month with. Let's see what happens. I mean, today was spooky enough, I guess, throughout the day. Also, we had pretty spooky, I guess, after hours over here with Microsoft and Meta reporting earnings. So let's see what happens going into the final day of October, Thursday, October 31st. What type of tricks or treats does the market play on us? Okay, I'll stop with the Halloween puns over here, but as the opportunity set up, that's the point of the stream. How can we take advantage of some of these opportunities? Just cleaning my desk, it feels a little grainy over here. What kind of opportunity set up for us tomorrow, and how can we take advantage of it? Names that reported earnings today after hours, names that are going to report tomorrow earnings pre-market, names that already reported earnings and potentially set up for a day 2, day 3 opportunity like Reddit with a monster move today, 40% move to the upside, even higher than 40, I guess, because we actually got to 118 or something, right? So Reddit with a monster move. What else? Carvana with an insane move in the after hours. Carvana up 5,000% in 2 years. Come on, Carvana from the verge of bankruptcy to 5,000% in 2 years. So that's monster. Some more opportunities over there, maybe setting up as a day trade. So let's dive in. Let's not waste any time. Let's dive in. Let's show you guys what the earnings board looks like. Is USA a trick? Is slang in USA? Trick is slang for yeah, slang for what you are, TH. You're a trick. Stop tricking. Stop being a hoe. All right. Names that reported earnings after hours: Microsoft, Meta, Coinbase, Robinhood, Etsy, Roku, Riot, Starbucks, but the main highlight is Carvana. Names that report earnings tomorrow pre-market: Uber, Peloton, Merck, ConocoPhillips, Altria, Siri, not really that important, MasterCard, EL, NCLH, so bunch of names reporting in the pre-market. Also, too many names for us to track, so we're gonna have to kind of hone in on the 1 or 2 really good opportunities that set up for us and really try to smash those opportunities, take a home run on those opportunities for us. So let's take a look at some of these names, starting with the stocks that reported after hours with the big boys. We're gonna start with, you see how I was taking a peek at MSTR today, but we're gonna start with looking at MSFT, Microsoft, or as I like to call them, macro macro hard. Microsoft macro hard. Let's see what they reported like. MSFT bringing in the Benzinga screen over here. If you guys are interested in Benzinga, by the way, check out my links down below. Click the what is it, the Linktree link? Yeah, click on the Linktree link and you will find all my affiliate sponsors. Now also added the Flash Research sponsor in there. If you are interested, we will talk about that software later on in the day and how they helped me capture another small cap short trade. So I am loving that software. Microsoft reporting earnings today after hours. Let's see how that report looks like. Okay, looks like beat in the title, but the stock did flush to the downside for some reason. A little bit of a drop, 3% drop on the market. Sorry, on Microsoft, not on the market. What happened? Microsoft first quarter revenue came in at $65 billion, up 16% year over year, beating estimates of $64.5 billion. First quarter earnings per share came in at 3.30, beating estimates of 3.09. Microsoft income was 65.6 in the first quarter, up 14% year over year. I thought it was 16%. The fuck? Okay. Operating income, sorry, gotcha. AI-driven transformation is changing work artifacts, and workflow across every role, function, and business processes. Revenue by segment, 12% up year to year on productivity and business processes. Intelligent cloud up 20% year to year. More personal computing up 17% year to year. Within the productivity and business processes segment, Microsoft 365 commercial products and cloud services revenue was up 13% year to year, and dynamic products and cloud services revenue was up 14% year to year. For intelligent cloud revenue from server products and cloud services up 23% year to year. Azure other cloud services revenue grew by 33% year to year. All numbers are looking good. So why did the market drop this position? Within the more personal computing segment, Xbox content and servicing revenue was up 61% thanks to the impact of the acquisition of Activision. I guess Black Ops 6, I guess, is the latest one. Shout out to that one. Search and news advertising revenue, excluding traffic acquisition costs, was up 18% year over year. What's next? The company will provide update on the guidance during its earnings conference call. Sadly, looks like they did not update the conference call. Sorry, they did not put the conference call report in here for us to take a look at. Maybe, yeah, we might have to listen to the conference call later on, or get like an AI tool to summarize it for us. Sadly, we don't have the conference call guidance, but so far, a little bit of a flush to the downside on Microsoft on that report. Looks like market not liking Microsoft beating every single aspect of the earnings report somehow, and taking it right back into last week's low. That report is not really that bearish for me to be bearish on this name at all. So Microsoft, just from how that report set up and how this move is in the after hours, very nothing burger of a move so far. If anything, I'll be interested on looking to buy some dips tomorrow on Microsoft, because that report's actually bullish in my opinion. We're getting double-digit growth across the board, and then we also have gaming section growing in like 50%, 60% at a time now, thanks to buying out Activision and Blizzard. So that's World of Warcraft, that's Black Ops, and that's all other kinds of games that whole universe owns. They own a shit ton of games, right? So big growth coming in. Shout out to them. So far, move in the downside for the after hours, but I'm not really looking bearish at all. I'm thinking more buying all kinds of dips tomorrow if the stock can show me some buying. Next stock reporting earnings. I'm most likely not even interested to trade Microsoft tomorrow based on how the after hour move is. Let's see in the pre-market, maybe it wakes up a little bit and we have some sort of an opportunity. Let's head over to Meta. Meta reporting also today. Big names, two of the biggest names reporting after hours. Insane. Meta reported third quarter revenue 40.59 billion, beating analyst estimates of 40.29. So barely beating it, but beating it. The company also reported earnings per share of 6.03, beating estimates of 5.25, making $6 per quarter is fucking insane. Meta has now beat analyst estimates on the top and bottom line in 7 consecutive quarters. Total revenue up 19% on a year-over-year. Family Day active Family Day active people were up 5% year-over-year to 3.29. Why are you giving me Family Day numbers? Maybe because overall numbers are not that good. Ad impressions jumped by 7% year-over-year. This is shout out to AI, so that's still growing. What did I do? So that's still growing. And average price per ad increased by 11% year-over-year. Okay, not bad. Costs and expenses came in at 23.24 billion, up 14% year-over-year. That's not a good thing. Capital expenditure came in at 9.2 billion. The company ended the quarter with 70 billion in cash and cash equivalents and marketable securities. All of that's going into metaverse and other research and development, and going into AI development, buying graphics cards from Jensen, just filling rooms with graphics cards. Cash equivalents and marketable securities, and 28.82 billion of long-term debt. Meta noted that its headcount was up 9% year-over-year to 72,404 as of September 30th. 72,000 employees on Meta? Is that what they mean by the headcount? That's nuts, dude. 72,000 employees. I guess with all the companies that they own. Hey, what's up, Luke? Free advice guy in our chat. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Thank you for lurking. Bigly Down Under. Loving my Carvana average at $26. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Respectfully. Wow, what a position. What a position. Shout out to you, big dog. Shout out to you, big dog. Where was I? Completely distracted me. Okay, we had a good quarter driven by AI progress across our apps and businesses. We also have a strong momentum with Meta AI, Llama adoption, and AI-powered glasses. Meta expects fourth quarter revenue to be in the range of 45 billion to 48 billion versus the estimates of 46.31 billion. Meta expects let me quickly read that and understand it. Okay, 46, 45, 48, gotcha. Meta expects full year 2024 to be expenses to be in the range of 96 to 98 billion versus prior guidance of 96 to 99. So dropping the higher end by 1 billion. Okay, whatever, we'll take it. Company expects full year 2024 capital expenditures to be in the range of 38 to 40 billion versus prior guidance of 37 to 40 billion. Okay. For Reality Labs, we continue to expect 2024 operating losses to increase meaningfully year over year due to our ongoing product development efforts and investments to further scale our ecosystem. So Reality Labs still taking a beating over here and going to continue taking a beating overall. Meta executives will hold a conference call. Meta price overall at the time of the report did drop, but are up 68% year to date at the time of report, even after that drop in the after hours. So let's go take a look at the move. Almost a nothing burger move, if you ask me. Very much like the Microsoft trade, sorry. Very much like the Microsoft trade. I'm just not that interested to look for a short at all. You're showing me 19% growth on a year-to-year basis. Your main source of revenue, your only source of revenue is advertisements, and if those impressions are going up and the amount of money you're making for displaying each ad is also going up, that means the people who want the ads displayed are paying you to display those ads by 11% more than what they were paying last year. That's amazing. So you're making more money in that sense. So they're gonna keep bringing in, more revenue. So all things are looking good. Only thing is, we know that they're gonna put all that money right back into metaverse and right back into AI and so on. How much growth can that really have is the question that everyone's asking. Everyone's got that question that, you know, is the bubble going to pop? Is AI bubble too big at the moment and it's going to shatter? In my opinion, the bubble hasn't even formed yet. We haven't even seen robots coming out with proper AI, doing your dishes, walking your dog. You know, let all of that come out and then we can talk about bubbles really popping, right? Before now, we got so much more room to the north side, in my opinion, for these companies. There's just going to be insane amount of opportunity, especially with those Meta glasses. I see something new coming out every single day. Let me see if I can actually find this link over here. Let's see if I can find it. MKBHD pool with glasses, pool with AI glasses. Okay, I found it. Let me bring back the screen. So he's playing pool right now, and it basically lines up where to shoot, and it tells you exactly where to shoot. Kind of like cheating, right? Kind of like cheating, but that's just one of the advantages that I saw today. More and more advantages coming out in the future. Have you guys seen this Samsung AI advertisement? This one is a little creepy if you ask me, but Samsung AI Bali. Was this a meme? If it's not, this is 4 years ago. And that's how it looks. With the new look and a built-in projector. But this ad over here, the first ad, I guess, nine months ago, or maybe it was this one. This ad 4 years ago. Yeah, this ad 4 years ago. Insane. Okay. That is actually nuts, because if this little ball just running around your house being your AI, controlling a bunch of machines and stuff, it's telling your vacuum machine to go start vacuuming up you know, dirt. It's telling the TV to turn on. It's telling the blinds to close. That little robot's doing all kinds of crazy things. But, you know, I don't think that ever actually played out, because I've never seen it catch traction. But not too long ago, we've seen Tesla robots doing a little dance and a little showboating. Most of the voice activity that was actually happening with those robots was fake, apparently. But still, man, eventually those robots will start using AI, and then we can talk about bubbles being burst. For now, we're still seeing growth on these positions. Like I said, ad revenue, the most important thing for Meta, and they're growing on that aspect. So shout out to these guys. More profits. Let's see, once they put these profits into more work, does it actually give them in return more profits again? But as a trade, for a day trade, I'm not really seeing too many patterns, too many opportunities. It's going to be a very passive dip buy long. If we do start breaking out above the all-time high, then it's a very easy long, in my opinion. But you see how we flushed in the after hours, so it's a little bit of a different story over here, right? Different story. Coinbase, what did Coinbase do in the after hours today? Another one that flushed to the downside. Wah, wah, wah. So Coinbase flushing down after the earnings reports, going right back into last week's low. Bitcoin still above 72K. So I think it's going to be a battle between what is more important for Coinbase, the Bitcoin, or Bitcoin going into all-time high and hanging near all-time high at the moment, or is Bitcoin or the earnings reports more important at the moment, and people are going to use that as a bigger catalyst to trade off of. Also pressing short below 200, pressing short below 205. doesn't really sound like a logical idea to me, because you can see how this dotted moving average, that's the 200-day moving average. You're shorting into 205, into the 200-day moving average. That sounds a little stupid. So I wouldn't be necessarily you know, pressing short into 200. Actually, we're below 200 at this moment. Wow. Oh no, okay, yeah, we got down to 196, but then we got above 200. So ideally, you know, I want to see this position below 205 if I want to look for shorts. Looks like the earnings report's red. If it stays below 205 on any pops, that's where the 200-day moving average is. I will potentially look for shorts on pops, but if it starts staying above 205, I am not interested on any sort of a short, no matter how bad the earnings report is, because this stock could easily start trading based on how Bitcoin is moving around, and Bitcoin being at all-time high, this could move right back up. Another name in the same basket reported earnings today, and they also flushed to the downside. This was MicroStrategy, MSTR, but after flushing down, a little bit of a better recovery compared to Coinbase, moving right back into today's low, moving right back into last week's levels over here on MSTR after the earnings report. So another one with a big catalyst, big ATR, decent amount of volume at the moment, fresh sector, cryptocurrency sector. So lots of things checking off on our books over here for both of these names. Let's actually go take a look at the earnings reports for MSTR. We have a better report? Come on, you can give me a better report. Wow, what the hell is this? That's at 11:38 a.m. That's not the report. Alright, this is all we got. Reported quarterly loss of $1.56 per share, which missed the analyst consensus of loss of 14 cents per share. So that's a pretty decent miss over there on EPS. 1,000% miss on EPS. The company reported quarterly sales of $116 million, which missed the analyst consensus of $122 million. So missing on revenue also by 5.37%. This is a 10.34% decrease over sales from the same period last year. What does MSTR even sell? What the fuck does MSTR even sell? I don't even know what they sell. I know they hold Bitcoin and probably other cryptocurrencies on their book, and that's their whole value. But what the fuck do they sell, and how does their revenue get calculated? The report isn't accurate because of FASB, bro. Okay, I'm not even gonna ask what that is, because my mind is going to blow. So I'm just gonna follow price action. You know, this is why I don't even care to read the Coinbase report, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't have, it's all fugazi when it comes to these reports and this market, because they will just do what they want and just move to cryptocurrency's rhythm, to Bitcoin's rhythm. So it's just going to give me a bias that I don't even want to have. I just want to follow what the stock does, where the buyers at, where the sellers at. Just follow the technical analysis and just play the clean technical analysis. Fine, since we're here anyways, let's just read the Coinbase's report too. Coinbase 1.21 billion, missing estimates of 1.26, 28 cents per share, missing estimates of 42 cents per share. Wow, you would expect with Bitcoin going up, you would have some extended activity, some increase in activity, and all kinds of good things happening, but no. Coinbase third quarter marked the 7th consecutive quarter of positive adjusted blah blah, which came in at 449 million. Coinbase trading volume 185 billion in the third quarter, down 18% quarter over quarter. Transaction revenue down 27% quarter over quarter. Looks like Coinbase is having an issue, something that Prad warned people about not too long ago. that there is competition now with banks offering Coinbase as a cryptocurrency. You know, you also got lots of other companies coming in and taking some market share. Kraken, what is it, Binance. So it looks like these guys are actually taking a little bit of a beating overall. So Coinbase moving down in the transaction revenue and trading volume. Not looking good. Let's continue reading. Consumer transaction revenue was down 27% quarter over quarter. Institutional transaction revenue was down 13%. How is everyone just taking a beating over here? Okay, Coinbase had a subscription and service revenue in the third quarter down 7%. In the third quarter, Bitcoin was the largest asset. Transaction revenue 35% of the trading volume. Ethereum was 16% of the trading volume, and Solana with 10. I think ETM. What is this? Anyways, the company's base is now number one layer 2 network in terms of transactions and total value locked. Coinbase said. Where's the outlook? What's next? The fourth quarter subscription and service revenue in the range of 505 to 580. That's a wide range, brother. That's a wide range. You reported 556 and you're giving me a range of 505 to 580. That's insane. The month of October has generated 190 million in total transaction revenues to date, the company said. How much did you just report? Okay, so increasing a little bit, I guess. Coinbase said it's expecting sales and marketing expenses in the fourth quarter driven by higher USDC. Okay, company highlighted 2024 presidential election as an event that could impact trading volume and volatility. That's for sure. The upcoming 2024 election. Oh shit! Actually, they're supposed to be. Give me a second, chat. There's supposed to be a Jack Kellogg and Tim Skies live event where they talk about a trading setup. For damn it, where is it? Pre-election trade idea that could soar no matter who wins. Okay, where the hell is it? Where's the link for it? It says 8 p.m. Eastern. Oh, are they live? This looks like a pre-recorded broadcast. This looks like a pre-recorded broadcast.
On CING, a tiny biotech stock. It was trading just at 480 at the time. So despite all the volatility that had been rocking the markets, my tool is signaling a potential massive move on CING the very next day. So what do you think happened next?
Well, I'm guessing CING shot up over 100%. I mean, that's what we saw with BMR and ONMD. I mean, they both more than doubled in just...
What's CING, chat? Healthcare technology companies. Okay. Okay, so biotech companies basically. Basically biotech companies. That's Tim Skies. Yes, it is Tim Skies. Coinbase. Okay, that's where we were. Coinbase earnings report. Yeah, not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Not looking good for the earnings report. And it looks like the stock actually dropped by 4% at the time of the report. Afterwards, it dropped a little bit lower, obviously. We just took a look at that one. So as long as Coinbase is below 205, I'm going to be inclined to short it. But if it's not below 205 and actually holding above it, I am not looking for that shorts anymore. Potentially looking long, but that report, not really that exciting. Not exciting report at all. Robinhood selling back down into last month's high and holding a little bit above last month's high. Robinhood not too long ago had a little decent news catalyst and back-to-back news catalyst. Then they announced in a big event that they're going to, have a desktop application. They're going to have futures and all kinds of crazy technology being implemented for Robinhood, almost turning it into a more legitimate brokerage. So all things were looking good there, but the earnings report, sadly, a little bit of an opposite. So earnings report taking the stock right back down. Pretty simple, I guess, at the moment. You got this previous 52-week high. If the stock is above that area, what is that? $27.25? Really? Okay. If the stock is above that 24, 25 area, I guess we did go a little bit below 24. We went to, we went below 25. I think we went to 24.13. Yeah, we went all the way down to 24.13. But as long as we're above 25, right here, I think we can start looking long. But if 25 starts looking a little shaky, then you might want to be careful looking for the long, because the stock could go right back into the after hours low, which was again the last month low, or was it last year's low? Not last year's low, clearly last month's low or something different. What was that marker? Last month's high. Thank you. Last month's high. If we go back into that area, potentially could find support again all the way back into after hours low. So you want to be careful fighting this area. You want to just give it a look to see if the stock is holding above 25 or is it trading below 25. It's very simple, under over for me on Robinhood. Etsy. Let's take a look at Etsy, how this one is doing tonight. Ooh, nice little pop up on Etsy. Even after what looks to be a negative earnings report, that's pretty surprising. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit, go to the daily chart. Here is Etsy on the daily chart. Looks like we are on a little bit of a downtrend on this position. Have been crushing down for quite some time now. But with this red earnings report, we somehow made a pop on the position, a little bit of a pop, not too much of a pop. Maybe this is the Kickstarter for the stock to start having a little bit of a change in characteristics, some good reversal setting up, and Etsy could have that move right back up. We might have to read the earnings report over here to see if the report was really amazing or not at all, to see if there's some validity behind this pop. Let me quickly scan through it. Down 4.1% year over year. Where's the revenue? Revenue would beat estimates, an increase of sales from the same period last year. So sales of same period last year, this year they reported 66.2 million. They had 636.3 million last year. They had 662.4 million this year. So growing on year over year in revenue. But on other sides, they look like they were down for the most part on other metrics. On their earnings report, active buyers decreased by 0.4%, barely, not really a big decrease. 6.4 million buyers were reactivated, whatever that means. They opened up their accounts again, I guess, up by 5.6%. The number of habitual buyers down 4.8%. U.S. domestic represented 5.51%. Okay, gotcha. Our third quarter consolidation results came in roughly anticipated, with some of our incremental pressure on Etsy's marketplace year over year. Healthy growth in revenue and continued strength of our, okay, not seeing any numbers, bunch of just gibberish. No actual numbers being thrown over here in the outlook, just a bunch of text. So for the so far, I'm not really seeing too much of a bullish report, nor I guess you could say it's a little bit bearish. It's a little bit bearish, but it's not bearish enough to start looking short on every single pop. So you want to be a little careful thinking about shorting the pops. If there is actual selling opportunities into these pops, like the recent pop we had into $53 today, the previous pops are right into what, $53 over here. So if we see some selling into that, maybe there's some opportunities to look short. We have last year's low / last month's high almost in the very same area. If the stock goes there, maybe an even better short setting up into these pops, but I'm not really convinced enough to look long right off the bat on a pop. This stock almost a nothing burger as an important scale for me tomorrow. Maybe I won't even possibly trade Etsy tomorrow at all unless we start holding above 53 and really push into this 58 area, at which point maybe I'll start thinking about making a decision. But yeah, I'm not really sure if I want to even be thinking about trading Etsy tomorrow. Riot, another cryptocurrency name, reporting earnings, and it's been on a little bit of a rally, but just like all of the other cryptocurrency stocks, taking a flush right back to the downside. Not really that big of a move back down. I guess a nothing burger move on Riot. But Riot has been on a little bit of a big run up compared to its partner in crime, Mara, who's been on a slower move up. Usually Mara is the one that's more dislocated and volatile compared to Riot, but right now Riot is the one that's just absolute rocket ship to the north side. But as a day trade, I'm not really looking to trade it. I'm just bringing it up as a notice for you guys, as some of the stocks that reported earnings, maybe you want to keep an eye on them in case they show you something throughout the day, but I'm not really interested as a trade. Roku, I was looking to see if Roku could set up for a breakout over here to the north side after the earnings report, but not really doing it for us. Sadly, Roku reporting earnings and flushing back down. Not what we wanted from it, or at least not what I wanted from it, because that could have opened up a room into $90, $100 if the report was bullish enough to have Roku fly off. But right now, in the current permutations that I can imagine, the best move that the stock has tomorrow, if it does have a reversal after this after hour flush, just going into $80, going back into $79. I'm not expecting a bigger move than that tomorrow if Roku does have a good earnings report reaction. Obviously, the reaction right now in the after hours is negative, but let's see if the report changes our heart on a company that we don't really respect at all. Roku, third quarter revenue 1.06 billion, up 16% year over year. Who the hell pays for Roku, dude? I don't get it. Third quarter market company is greater than 1 billion in total revenue. Okay, platform revenue up 15% year over year. Devices in the quarter up 23% year over year. How? The company reported a loss of 6 cents. Even then, you don't make any money? You suck, dude. Loss of 6 cents per share in the third quarter, beating estimates of a loss of 32 cents per share. I guess that's a pretty good beat. You know, a lot better than losing 32 cents per share, a lot better than losing dollars back in the day. That's what they were doing. Roku reported its 5th straight quarter of positive adjusted EBITDA. The company reported 85.5 million streaming households in the third quarter, up 2 million from the second quarter. Households were 32 billion. What? Hours stream was 32 billion, up 5.3 billion hours from year over year. Okay, that makes sense to me. The company average revenue per user was $41.1. What? Which was on a year over year basis. Average streaming hours per streaming household per day was 4.1 hours in the third quarter, up from 3.9. Okay, people are addicted to their TVs, makes sense. Roku reported strong sales of operating systems for televisions as #1 TV operating system for US, Mexico, and Canada in the quarter. Shut up. The company's Roku channel was Number 3 app on the Roku platform for reach and engagement, and saw streaming hours up 80% year over year. Roku is guiding its fourth quarter revenue 1.14 billion, up 16% year over year. Platform revenue is guided to grow 16% year over year, and devices revenue to grow by 25% year over year in the fourth quarter. The company said it's seeing a strong political advertising spending that is expected to continue in the fourth quarter. However, the stock did flush down about 7.4% at the time of the earnings report, and we saw a little bit more flush down. So based on the report, not that bearish. It's going to be very hard for me to bearish. So the deeper we go down on this position, the lower we go into previous levels like the last month's low, or even lower than that. However low we go, how low can we go on this position? I think that right there is last month's low. 71.81, is that last month's low? No, 71.81 I guess is where we're hanging out right now, but last month's low is $63. So the lower we go, honestly, the more bullish I'm going to be on this company. However, maybe I shouldn't say the company, on the trade opportunity, because the report is not that bearish. However, I am personally very bearish on the company. I dislike Roku. I don't understand how a company like Roku exists. There's so many alternatives for free that you can use without needing a Roku at all. So it's just a joke to me that a company like Roku exists and they actually thrive. Maybe I shouldn't say thrive because they're, not making any profits. They haven't really made any profits. If you check their PE, it doesn't exist, non-existent, zilch. This is not a live event, so let's get off of that. Let's go to Finviz, look at Roku. PE, non-existent. Forward PE, non-existent. They've never made money. Garbage. And how long have they been existing on the market over here? 2018. All right. So it's time, boys. Come on, it's time. Time to make some profits. Time to turn a penny. And looks like they're getting there. Only losing 6 cents per share instead of losing 30 cents per share, which they were expected to. Victor H in the house. What's up, Victor? How you doing, sir? Welcome. Always a pleasure to have you on stream. So Roku, not a bad report to look short, especially if we go into the 200 period moving average on the daily chart, which is around $67. So the 200-day moving average into 66, 67. Where's Roku? 66.50. I'll put that as a 200-day moving average. 200-day MA, and then we have the last month's low, which was 63.20s. I'll just say 63 after that to keep an eye on to see if it sets up for any opportunities to get long on the dips on these companies. Now, let's talk about it. Actually, let's go to a different one instead, because I want to save Carvana for last. Let's go to Starbucks. Starbucks, insane. I'm not sure how they actually moved off the report. Starbucks has been insane for a long time. Maybe I should delete all of these drawings. Yeah, let's get rid of them. Fuck these. It has been a little nuts, if you ask me. Maybe I shouldn't, because one of these are actually. Fuck it, who cares, dude? Get rid of them. Nuke them all. Nuke them. So Starbucks, ever since that catalyst came out that the CEO is changing, it popped up and it's been ridiculously strong ever since. However, the earnings report shows that the growth is not really there yet. They're still declining, and I think that report is going to show you a downside move. Ooh, the downside move got absolutely bought right back up on Starbucks. So not sure if maybe something in the conference call was said that brought back in investor confidence, or the buyers who are still very bullish about Starbucks to begin with. All the cocoa addicts, is it cocoa? Not cocoa. Cocoa is chocolate. All the caffeine addicts. How did I get cocoa and caffeine mixed up? All the caffeine addicts who love Starbucks have been just buying up this position nonstop. So it's pretty simple, if you ask me. We got almost 2 solid solid support areas to play off of at the moment. First, we have, I'll mark this instead of that. Maybe you can mark this too and keep an eye on this area as well. It's kind of a box to keep an eye on to the downside. So Starbucks, you have a range between 94.20 to 93.76 almost playing out. What is this day's low instead? So 94 to 93.50, basically a nice little range playing out over there, and then you have a $90 bottom after that. So if Starbucks gets below 93.50, you can expect Starbucks to go into $90 and then potentially having an opportunity below 90 as a little bit more of a sell-off. And if 90 actually holds, then you got an opportunity to maybe see if you can flip long after playing short through 93.50, flip long from 90 and then go back into the north side for an easy long opportunity. But based on how the stock played over here in the after hours, we first had a sell-off. Let's see if we actually sold off into that level. No, we didn't even sell off into that level. We just sold into yesterday's lows, and then we reversed right back up into yesterday's high slash today's high on Starbucks. So pretty bullish reversal. Let's see if the stock can continue with this momentum and actually have an opposite reaction to what I'm expecting, which is a breakout to the north side. A very simple breakout compare on these highs on the 99.50. Let's just say 99.50, 100. If this area breaks on Starbucks, you can expect some fireworks to come into play. But if 99.50 to 100, the stock pops and finds a rejection, there could be a short opportunity back through 100 to the downside also. So the stock really needs to hold above 100. Notice how I'm saying it needs to hold above 100 for me to really think bullish and think long. But if I'm thinking short, I'm going to be willing to short all the way to 100 on Starbucks. So there's some sort of asymmetrical trade here to the short side going into 100, because I don't think it will stay above 100. But if it starts staying above 100, then it's a no-brainer long on this position. Simple. Very, very simple. Uber. Not Uber. We want to go to Carvana. I want to read this stock's earnings report. Wow, Weewa is all I can say, because my goodness, this stock is on absolute drugs. Carvana, either they sell drugs or you know, I don't know what they sell at this moment. They went from on the verge of bankruptcy. Let me put the drawing in for you guys. They went from on the verge of bankruptcy. Not it. Where's January 2023? Thank you. Verge of bankruptcy to, I think the marker was somewhere here. I guess I could just open the picture that I took, right? Where's my picture? Verge of bankruptcy to 5,300%. Almost at $250 in 2 years. In 2 years. Insane move on Carvana. So obviously very much in play tomorrow. The short squeeze could be something to keep an eye out for also. Not that Carvana has a high short flow. I think it has like a 12 to 15% short flow. Let's go to know your float. I think that's the website. Know the float. Okay, know the float. CVNA. Know the float says the float is anywhere from 86 to 111 million, and the short flow actually is a lot higher than what we're seeing on Finviz. Finviz 35. Where the fuck you're seeing 35 and I only saw 12? What? Okay, we're only seeing 12, but know the flow is showing us 35%, anywhere from 35 to 40%. So the short squeeze very much in play at the moment on Carvana. It is absolutely blasting to the north side. Outstanding shares. Okay, So not a lot of outstanding shares left in the market over there. So Carvana, man, all I can say is, you know, just start clapping. Do the is that the Shia LaBeouf clap or the Kanye West clap where they just get up and start clapping in the movie theater? I think it's like the Shia LaBeouf clap, right? All I can do is just clap for Carvana's success, recovery story, whatever you want to call it. This is a very high contender compared to ANF. ANF, one of the biggest recovery stories out there in the recent histories. You know, from $24 to $150, but no. Carvana from $3.55 to $258 in 2 years. So how can we trade this position tomorrow? First, let's start off with taking a look at the earnings report. Revenue 3.66 billion, beating estimates of 3.45. The car retailer reported 64 cents per share, beating estimates of 17 cents per share. Smoked their EPS. Total revenue 32% year-over-year growth. Carvana sold 108,000 cars in the third quarter, 34% year-over-year. Gross profit per unit $7,427 in the quarter, up 1,475 from prior year's quarter. Net income 148 million and net income margin was 4% in the third quarter. Carvana reported operating income of 337 million. Adjusted EBITDA of 429 million. Ooh, 9 more than the perfect number. 420 would have been awesome. Carvana's exceptional results underscore our position as the fastest growing and most profitable automotive retailer. Our progress in Q3 further highlights the strength of our vertically integrated business model and also begins to demonstrate the power of our unique infrastructure, including the ADESA network, said Ernie Garcia, co-founder, that's the guy's face I'm using for my YouTube thumbnail, co-founder and CEO of Carvana. As we integrate our operations and tap our network national footprint, we are not only driving efficient growth but also improving customer experiences, reducing costs, and strengthening our wholesale platform. Carvana Outlook said it anticipates a sequential increase in year-over-year growth for retail units sold in the fourth quarter. The company also expects full-year adjusted EBITDA to be above the high end of its previous guidance range of 1 billion to 1.2 billion. With just 1% share in enormous market, a significant capacity to support growth, and a business that generates positive feedback as it scales, we are just getting started. Management will hold a conference call, blah 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 blah. At the time of the report, stock moved up by 22.05% at $253, making a high of 258. Now this is insane. Obviously, you don't want to step in front of a stock like this because you can get run over. It is short squeezing. If it really has a 40% short flow, this could start going bonkers to the upside and really start going higher. But if there is an easy level to short from, I will be there looking for a short. This report is pretty good if you ask me. 32% revenue growth year to year. You're selling 34% more cars on a year over year. You're making $1,500. This is rounded up. Per unit sold in this quarter compared to same period last year. So all numbers are looking great here for Carvana. Either they're cooking books or they're selling drugs. Not sure what's going on, but looks like the business is thriving. Shout out to Carvana. Bottom 2 Yankee, 4 Dodgers 0. Are we really talking about baseball, dude? Come on, man. Baseball? Baseball? No offense, but baseball is the most boring sport ever. Okay? No offense, but baseball, hands down, the most boring sport ever. Alright, so that's the Carvana report. That's the Carvana move. looking for trade ideas, I mean, you could kind of scroll back in the past over here, but you know, there's not really much for us to use. There's a lot of unused levels. There was a little bit of a support on the monthly area over here into 260, and the stock kind of pushed into these monthly supports of 260 area, and then is now finding resistance from it, right? So a little bit of an opportunity to potentially look short into 260. If we do get a pop into 260, a pop into 265, I'm gonna continue looking for a short again, because I think this move is crazy. And the higher the stock goes, the more I want to be inclined looking for a short as a day trade. At the moment, the level is 260, but the anchored VWAP for earnings, the stock has only a $6 ATR. It's gonna have a $20 ATR tomorrow. I feel like it's gonna trade between 240 to 260 tomorrow without a problem. So the higher the stock goes, I'm going to be inclined to look for a short for a scalp. There's going to be a lot of profit takers. Guys, people are up 5,000%. Bigly down under, he's long $23 or something. Okay, he's long $23. He's up almost 1,000%. People will take profits. I'm expecting easy selling pressure right off the open, so I'm looking to take advantage of the selling pressure right off the open and get a nice scalp off to the downside, potentially get a selling opportunity right into the earnings anchored VWAP, and then bounce from the earnings anchored VWAP and then running back up, because that report was not negative at all. At the same time, I'm also not really expecting the stock, if okay, let's picture something like this. We go up in the pre-market, we reject over here, give us a nice short, go into 240, 250, bounce off of 240, 250, and close at like 255, close at 256, somewhere over here. This is what I'm picturing tomorrow in the pre-market, going into the open, giving me a profit taking opportunity, or not me profit taking, but giving me opportunity to ride the downside as people take profits, and then looking for the move right back up as the buyers step back in, as the stock starts correcting itself back to the upside, and people you know, start buying up the demand. Maybe we see some short squeeze instead of looking for a selling off the open. People start buying up the stock drastically, and any of the shorts who haven't gotten out yet, they're going to be looking to get out of their position off the open, and you know, they're going to squeeze this position higher and higher. As the shorts start cover, we just start going higher and higher and higher and higher. Then you see options coming in, gamma squeeze taking place, all kinds of craziness. We've been here before, so all kinds of nasty things could happen above 260, and all kinds of fun things could happen below 260. When I say nasty, I don't mean negative. All kinds of fun things can happen above 260 also, but all kinds of fun things can happen below 262. So I think around 260 is where you can make your key decision, key opportunity trades. If we have to make a decision off the earnings anchored VWAP instead, I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it, no problem. So Carvana, very, very high priority tomorrow. Uber reporting along with the Peloton tomorrow pre-market. Uber not too long ago had an insane rally up to the north side. They also got added to the S&P 500 index not too long ago. I guess that was pretty long ago. I should stop mentioning it now. But however, you know, Uber partnerships, robo taxis, these deals, those deals, every single thing happening for Uber's case. Still the #1 stock out there for ride hailing, for ride sharing. Lyft still #2. Lyft saying that they're complacent being #2. So Uber's, you know, just being monstrous at the moment. I think Uber will have another positive earnings report most likely. Let's see how they set up going into tomorrow pre-market. Peloton, usually a stock very fun to short on any earnings report pop. So let's see if they report well. Their last report, they had a really good pop and an amazing long opportunity. So let's see if we get a not long opportunity, but usually I love shorting the stock on a pop after an earnings report. So let's see if the history repeats itself, or do I have to change my game plan, or maybe I just ignore Peloton completely and just focus on stocks like Starbucks, MicroStrategy, Carvana, Roku, and Coinbase, and so on. Just focus on those names, maybe some small cap names that get active in the pre-market for me. EL, also another name reporting in pre-market. You can see how I have these two ranges mapped out. You can also give that range a little bit of a little bit more room to the upside and to the downside right there. A couple markers where I expect the stock to play out in, either rejects off of these pops or holding above them to give you a trade opportunity, or a dip into these lows, or a break below these lows for a trade opportunity. Pretty simple, but not high priority names for me. Same with NCLH. NCLH, if you pull the stock back on the daily chart, you can see how stuck in ranges we are. We just recently broke these ranges, so shout out to the stock be managing to break out of recent ranges. I'm pretty sure other companies are giving the stock sympathy to do this. RCL, CCL, RCL breaking all-time high. RCL all-time high breakout was actually monstrous. If you look at RCL on the daily chart, look at that breakout right there. Beautiful daily flag breakout going north off of the earnings report. So NCLH kind of using the that as a sympathy and carrying higher. Off the earnings report for me, I guess it's going to be a little simple. If you are looking for a trade opportunity, the stock needs to hold above 23. If it doesn't hold 23, maybe you could look short because the earnings report's negative and it's going to crumble back down right back into the $15-16 range and settle back between 23 to 16 if the earnings report's bad. But if the earnings report's good, the stock should stay above 23 and kind of just float back higher, right? Its peers are at all-time high, so it needs to float back higher and stay above 23 if you're looking for any sort of a long. Here are your day 2, day 3 earnings plays, starting with Eli Lilly. Couple of these stocks I'm gonna speed run through them because I'm not really too keen to trade them, so I'm gonna talk about those ones first. AMD, I talked about how I'm not really I'm pretty confident that AMD is not gonna trade below 150, but boy oh boy did it manage to break 150. AMD was actually doing a damn good job staying above 150 for quite some time, and then it managed to get below 150. I'm going to blame SMCI for this. SMCI came out with the 8K filing. Ernst & Young, who are their auditors, came out and said we're no longer going to audit these guys because there might be actual shady shit happening in SMCI. So SMCI dropping down like a hard rock today, taking a lot of semiconductor stocks to the downside, taking Nvidia back under 140 and really hurting other positions. AMD, obviously, even though they're showing 20% growth and all kinds of fun stuff, they are not doing the same thing that Nvidia is showing. They're not doing the same thing that the scam people SMCI is showing. So AMD taking a little bit of a beating off that report. As a day trade, I'm not really too keen. I mean, that 10% drop was a little bit of a shock for me. So as long as we stay below 150, maybe there is a short opportunity over here on this position. Keep in mind, we are going to be SSR. That means it's going to be hard to get short. You can't just cross the bids. You have to wait on the offer for a pop to get short into. Sometimes even if you wait on the pop to get short into, you won't get fills, because that's what happened to me on DJT. I missed a great trade on DJT today. I have $47. I wish I caught some fills there. No fill for me. Yikes. Okay. Nvidia, sorry, not Nvidia. Google, another one of these names that I'm just not really too interested to look for a day trade. Google actually managed to make a monster pop and then pulled back a little bit, potentially holding this today's low and then rallying back up. Even if we do break today's low, I'm expecting it to go back into the gap close and kind of hold off of it. I'm never really too keen to trade Google as a day trade anyways. Snapchat did exactly as we imagined it to. I guess we said $12.60. I'm expecting expecting it to fail that area. It did push into it, give you a little bit of a short scalp, but it actually traded back and forth in that whole area, almost like Snapchat is getting ready to really break out of the zone and start trading higher, reclaim the 200-day moving average. So if Snapchat wants to do that, go for it. I still believe that there could be a little bit of a short opportunity over here around $12.80 to $13 on Snapchat tomorrow, but there could be way better shorting opportunities for me setting up compared to Snapchat, especially in the small cap category. So I think the importance for me to short Snapchat tomorrow is not that high really. It's on a really way too lower tier priority for me, so I'm gonna color it in that scale. CMG crushing to the downside pretty hard. Let's go to a more important ticker, save some time. We don't need to talk about some of these other garbage names that we most likely won't even trade, so get rid of CMG for me. Let's talk about Reddit. Reddit with a monster breakout to the north side. 41% move, ladies and gentlemen. What a move on Reddit. What is Reddit's PE? $174. Monstrous. I personally think Reddit will have some trouble into 120, into 118. It shouldn't have too much power above 120 tomorrow. Even if it does get above 120, I'm expecting it to stuff back under 120 and give you a little bit of a short opportunity intraday, and then potentially you can flip long from today's VWAP, wherever today's VWAP is. Today's VWAP is at 112.80 on the daily chart, but if we go to the 5-minute, today's VWAP is 113, basically 112.71. So easy short from 120 to 113 at the very least coming into play on Reddit, if you ask me. So let's see how the pop into 118 to 120 plays out. If there is an active seller, a level in front of 120, or offer size parked in front of 120, parked in front of 125, most likely I'm going to use that level to get short into, and then front run that level. So let's see if Reddit can help me out over here, catch that short back through to the downside. Even if you find some selling right into today's high, 118.50, 118.25, if we see selling into today's high, I'm going to be ready to smash that short back through 118. So for example, we get through 118, we start playing around 118.25, we get to 118.50, we get to 118.60, but then we get back into 118 and we're not able to hold 118. That move back down, I'm getting ready to short it because I expect to move back down to 113 very soon on that failure to get above today's high. So failure to get above today's high is a setup. Failure to stay above 120 is a setup. Failure to stay above 125 is a setup. But if we get above 118 and pull back into 118 and show buying above 118, then that right there is going to be the best opportunity to get long tomorrow on Reddit. Angry Buddha, what is the best trade of the decade? He's gonna say go long MSTR, period. He is an MSTR addict at the moment. I understand, because they've been bringing him the money, showing him the money, the shmoney dance, baby. The shmoney dance. DJT, big regret for me today. There was a very easy trade to short this stock. First short into $50. On the pop into 50, the stock never really got above 50 and just, sold back down. The second trade opportunity that you could have got on this position was right here, the breakdown and the pop, but the pop didn't have any juice above VWAP. VWAP at that time was also at the day's open. The stock opened around $47.50. We popped into VWAP, we popped into the day's open, struggled for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes, but because the stock is on SSR, I'm not getting any shares on these pops. Everyone else is taking the shares and I am not getting any shares, and I can't really take the size on the move down because it's SSR. It's just breaking down, just hammering to the downside and crumbling. And honestly, it makes sense because there's people who are loading up in this area and they took all the shares away from people like me, sadly. But hey, shout out to them because they made 400 grand. People made a lot of money on this position today, shorting DJT from here to here. Fuck man, I wish I got some shares over there. Even minimum shares, I would have loved it. However, I was able to catch a nice little long scalp from here back into the yesterday's low of $43 or so. So I was able to catch a nice little long scalp on DJT. That was my only trade today. Down 20%. Big move down on DJT. I personally don't think DJT gets below $35. So even if DJT goes down a little bit more into $36, $35, I think we still see a little bit of a buying opportunity. Maybe even all the way into $30 where this real consolidation happened before we started rallying up. But I'm saying 35 because that's where the 200-day moving average is. That's where we kind of broke out from before the stock started having the second, third leg up to the north side. So watching how DJT sets up on any sort of a pullback into 35 tomorrow for a potential long opportunity. We bounced off of what, 39 today, so I think 35 will set up for the perfect long tomorrow for opportunity back through. I don't expect DJT to really crumble, so let's see if that sets up. SMCI, this one, what we was all we can say on this one because this stock, bad news after bad news. I guess they are cooking the books on this position and you know, clearly pushing it down lower now, taking the previous consolidation low, which was what, around $37, was it? 37.30? Yeah, so 37.30, getting below 37.30, basically $38 is fairly important. Now the fact that the stock is getting ready for its, I guess you could say, another leg down until they really filed their 10K filings. Potentially look for shorting any pops. If we pop into $37, $38 tomorrow and have any resistance into that pocket, but a very easy short opportunity over there on SMCI. Until they report their 10K and actually show people that they're not frauds, this stock is a non-stop short. It was a non-stop short at 50. It's a non-stop short now at 37, 38. So keep on looking for that position. And that basically is all she wrote for our watch list. We do have other names over here that not too long ago reported earnings, like Netflix, Tesla, and so on. Not too high of importance for me as a day trade, or not, I shouldn't say importance, but priority as a day trade. But this one is actually looking pretty good because the intraday level, or I think that's actually the pre-market level. Let's go and check it out. I think that's the pre-market level that I still have. Nope, that's the intraday high. Okay, the intraday high, which was a pre-market level the next day, is now actually the multi-day anchored VWAP. Right, the earnings day anchored VWAP is coming in right around that price. That price is also today's low. So multiple reasons to kind of look for a potential long over here into $255. So if Tesla pulls into 255, you can maybe look for a long. But if Tesla gets below 255, that could open up some opportunities for a good short right back to the downside. Not saying Tesla crumbles and really, you know, breaks down. I'm just saying it could give you a nice little scalp into 244, at which point you can look to flip long if you're interested in. But as long as 255 holds, you can continue looking long without a problem. I'm pretty sure you'll get easy $2-3 scalps off of 255 without a problem for a day trade. So keep on keeping an eye on it, and if 255 breaks, game on for the short side. Game on for the short side. That is all she wrote for today's stream. Bang. Nice little 9 minutes and 1 hour and 12 minute stream. Let's quickly go take a look at the economic calendar, econ calendar. Great show, Pratt. See you tomorrow. Yes, sir. See you for the Spooktober. See you for Halloween. Sadly, I will not be dressing up for you guys because I'm not a fucking kid anymore. I'm not dressing up for you guys. But if you guys are dressing up, I would love for you guys to post pictures in Discord so I could see what you guys are dressing up as. Okay, tomorrow's economic calendar. Core PCE at 8:30. Initial jobless claims at 8:30. Chicago PMI 9:45. Those are the three-star events. We got a couple 2-star events over here, like the Atlanta Fed GDP and the balance sheet. The balance sheet is actually after the close, and I guess that doesn't really matter to us because we only care about the ones that might move the market and the pre-market and the intraday numbers. So the pre-market core PCE 8:30, initial jobless claims 8:30, and then the Chicago PMI at 9:45. So those are the time zones that you might want to keep an eye on. You mean that's your real clothes? Wow, ha 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 ha. Funny, dude. Funny, you're hilarious. Well, you should be a comedian, you know? You should be a comedian. Ha 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 ha. Not. Is this the after hours stuff? No, this has gotta be the intraday shit. Maybe it is after hours. Wow.